Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint, where a few mates get together and talk about all of the goings-on in West Ham throughout the week. And there's a lot of big goings-on to discuss. Paqueta signing could be imminent, wrapping up the last bits of paperwork. West Ham's group has been announced, who we've got, who we're playing. Some other signings are coming up, and apparently West Ham, we're not done in the transfer window if we get this over the line. Lots of money spent. Scott is here. We're waiting for Graham. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. I'm back off holiday. You know,
to
go. It's been a good week. It's been a great week transfer-wise, isn't it? So yeah, let's hope they said it. If this deal gets over the line, mate, it's a big deal. Big deal.
Yeah, I mean, seemingly it's weird because it seemingly come out of nowhere. These sorts of deals with these players, we usually hear them back weeks and weeks and weeks. Apparently, we've been working on this in the background for a while, and we've only just hearing about it now, which is refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it was like earlier this week or something we really started hearing about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've sort of kept it a little bit quiet, haven't they? Kept it under the radar a little, which is, look, you don't mind in the nose and things like that, you know, because it's good. It's good knowing what's going on and what's happening and all that. But sometimes, but sometimes it is nice just to get that odd curveball that comes in under the radar that no one knows about. You know, it's a statement. Realistically, you know, look, I ain't going to bang on like I know about it. I don't watch French football. You know, I only know from what we see in the games that we saw, Leon, like last season. But you know, from what I've been hearing from other people, it's a decent coup for us if we get it, you know, through the door.
Yeah, well, I've been doing my research before coming onto this show, and it seems like the exact signing that we've been wanting for. Moyes came out, I think it was like last week or so, and said we need a Pint. We need a Dimitri Payet. And I think this is what he was talking about. We've got someone who is a creative player, you know, who can make things happen. And that's what we've missed in the games, creativity. A number 10 that can pick out a pass, a key pass, you know, find a ball, find a player, link up, and has that skill and that technical ability that we love, that gets you off your seat. You know, but also can get involved in, you know, well, I say get involved, but has a bit of defensive ability about him, but can also press. You know, he's quite high up there for pressures and for pressing and winning the ball back, you know, in the opposition half and not giving up. So I think he'll be a fan favourite in that regard. The only thing is he'll lose the ball a few times a game, and fans have to accept that. And I've said this before.
Yeah, this is the thing is, you know, look at the big frustration with players have with Ben Rama, the amount that he loses the ball and things like that. But sometimes with a creative type player, sorry, your dog's going on one.
Yeah,
she's excited. Coco, stop. Right. You know, it's you know, you have that with him. You know, he tries to create things and things like that, and they do lose the ball more often than not. You know, but it's the fact that in one turning point, they can change the game. You know, that one pass, that one key moment that a player not of that quality or in playing in it, like with Payet. You know, Payet had that instant where he could change the game. You know, he could do nothing for 89 minutes, but in that 1 minute, changes the whole course of how the game pans out. And look, they do give the ball away quite a bit, but you know, it's
because the thing is, they don't play. They're not always just looking for the simple pass. They take risks, you know, and they'll try things, and that's what you want. Because the problem is at the moment we've got too many players that just want to make the safe pass all the time. Like, oh, nothing looks on. Let me just pass it back. Let me pass it to the side, and it's why our counter attack is so weak now. And you know, it's so slow because there's no risk. You need a player. Cool. If it don't come off, just be ready to try and win the ball back early. And that's the sort of player that he is. He'll give the ball away, but he'll try his hardest to win that back. He's an energetic player. He's got a real engine about him. Will run and run and run. He's not late. So unlike Payet, you know, he does a lot of off the ball work. You know, But I think we shouldn't hamper him down by trying to expect him and trying to get him involved too much in that. If he can do it, great. But let's keep him higher up the pitch.
But with the players that we've got, we're quite a defensive minded outset. With the players that we have, with what Moyes is looking to do with the defenders that he's brought in, Emerson coming in, which a lot of people don't sort of get. But I was chatting to one of my mates today. Obviously, I've not seen him because I've been away since we signed Emerson, and he said he's a decent player. He's just not going to get in the side with the other left backs that they've got. It'll be a good. He said it'll be a good signing for us, and I feel Moyes is going to be. I fancy Moyes to go free at the back. I've got a feeling we're going to play sort of a 3 centre halves, 2 wing backs. So sort of a 3-5 when you're defending, 3 when you're attacking, and then that frees up what we're going to do with the tinkering in the midfield, and gives us options. And that's what it's all about. It's about options and being able to rotate. And I feel that if we get him across the line, you may see more in Benrahma when he plays. I know, look, it was only Volberg last night, but you look at the game last night, the movement of Benrahma trying to play off of Samaka, the move that led to the chance that Cornet put over the bar or just wide, which, to be fair, was easier to score. I still don't know how he missed that. I think he was asking himself that question. But you look at that and the movement Benrahma, he gambled. And I feel that when Antonio plays, we don't gamble because we don't expect him to win them balls in the air. I just feel that having another creative spark in there will bring, like Payet did with Lanzini. Payet and Lanzini, it brought the best out in Lanzini. It brought the best out in Noble, because some of the balls that Noble could play. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. He'll come in and be that type of player.
Quickly, a lot of people have got a lot of nice things to say about you, Scott. Scott's younger brother sitting in for him. A lot of people liking your shirt, Scott. A lot of comments about how good you're looking, Scott. Refreshed and energized.
It's
amazing
good. It's good.
What an holiday does.
It's a bit of good lighting and a nice holiday. Relaxed, refreshed, and I can thank. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll give it a full look. All right. Spin round the back.
Oh, wait.
So hold on. Hang on. Can you see the back?
There you go. Is that West Ham Metalheads?
That's West Ham Metalheads. Anyone wants one, head over to their Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram. Yes. I think they're about 30 quid and they're good. They're nice. Nice shirts, good quality.
There you go. Nice plug for Nick.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone said in the chat, as long as Paqueta's not lazy like Payet, and as long as he tracks back, and that's, I think the opposite is we'll get a player that will track back, that will do the off the ball work, and won't just be sort of floating around at around the final third, waiting for the ball to come his way. He will be putting pressure on the players. But again, like I say, he'll lose the ball, and you just got to expect that. That's all you got to expect. We want to try things, because too many times as well, I don't want to see that, when we play like these long balls into Antonio all the time, like we was doing it the other day against Brighton. A lot of the time, we were just trying to bypass the midfield entirely, play a long ball to Antonio, and he weren't winning them.
Yeah. And that's been a big problem in our game. For me, for a while, is we're so reliant on Antonio, and he hasn't been at his best for a long time. And like you said, we're playing these long balls up to him. He's not willing the challenges in the air. He's still got the physicality about him. He's still got the speed about him, but I just feel the side doesn't feel confident in him winning the ball in them situations, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And look, he's been a good servant. He's done well. He's a record Premier League goal scorer, and that is one of the things that will never get taken away from him. But if a striker goes through the vein of form that he's gone through, he's got to be dropped.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's time because he asked, is Scamacca ready, PL ready yet? I'd say he is. And, you know, like you said, if Antonio's not going through the form he's in, how unready must Scamacca be to not be able to come in, at least do as good as Antonio, if not marginally better?
Look, I trust Moyes in what he's doing. I don't get it sometimes. He sees the players more than we do. You know, you've seen with Downs come in. Right, he would have probably got his first start against Volberg in the first leg, but obviously picked up that injury. A little bit surprised he didn't start last night, to be honest. But Moyes said he's not ready. Downs come out and said himself, you know, this is it's a big step up. I thought I was ready, but in training it's completely different. So, you know, that shows that Moyes does know what he's talking about. And we saw it with other players. You know, Bowen took a little while to bed in. Ben Rama's, we're now seeing Ben Rama, I think, in a better light than we did last season. You know, I thought, again, I know it's a so-called weaker opposition in Europe, but I thought Benny played well. I thought, you know, he's done well when he has come on in games. He's done well when he played, you know, against Forest. I thought he done really well. You know,
he's probably our most informed player in the side, I would say.
Yeah.
And like I said, that includes the likes of Declan Rice. I would say Ben Rama's the most informed. I just want to
go on.
No, I was just going to clear this up because we jumped right in and I didn't actually sort of give the update on where we are at with that. We just sort of started talking about it, but that's just how it goes. But he said that's Paqueta officially signed, confirmed. So this was the latest update from Fabrizio Romano, Mr. Here We Go, very reliable journalist. He said West Ham and Olympique Marseille have finalised paperwork exchange process for Lucas Paqueta deal. West Ham trying to schedule Paqueta's travel on Saturday in order to book medical tests and complete the transfer as soon as possible. Final stages of the deal, then it will be done. So it sounds like everything's been agreed and it's a booking, the medical and all of that stuff. So he's not official, confirmed, announced. So the player's still not holding the shirt up. Still couldn't happen. Let's say that. It's not until he holds the shirt up. But yeah, the medical should hopefully happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he won't be ready for Villa.
No, he's not going to be signed for Villa. I just realised, Dan, I need to send Graham a link to the video.
I put it in.
You sent it to him, yeah? Oh, cool.
I put it in the group chat, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yes,
I
put it in. Yeah, that's like 6 minutes ago. So,
yes, no, yeah. I've lost what I was going to say now. Sorry, mate. But yeah, he's obviously not confirmed, but hopefully, you know, like you said, get the medical done.
Did I say Marseille, by the way?
You might have done.
Did I say Marseille? Everyone's saying not Marseille. I thought I said Olympique Lyon. Did I say Olympique Marseille? I don't know what the fuck I'm going on about. So everyone's like,
you know, you don't know what's going to happen. We may be jumping the gun, but like I said, he's a very reliable source in the things that he said. You know, you go back through his Twitter, he's not got much wrong. So let's hope he's right on this one. And then let's roll on to the next signing. Get this one through the door and, you know, it's get the next one in the door because there's still more to come and more needed.
I mean, apparently we're not done. And look, I think with Paqueta, if the transfer window shut there, I think it would be a very, very good window. I mean, I'm interested to see what else we're going to get. We're still linked with loan moves for Broja, for Gallagher, you know, and a few, and I think another Chelsea player. I don't know if it's Gilmore was the other one. So we're still linked with a few loan moves there. So I think there probably will be some loans we'll look at. And there's the other geezer that I've seen Matt put in. What's the geezer's name? I fucking YouTubed him earlier. Some other right winger. Juanez.
Januzaj. That's the one who used to play for Man United and Sunderland.
Yes, that's it. He played under he played under Moyes.
Yeah, he played under Moyes at both. Was he Moyes when United was Moyes at United with Januzaj?
Yeah, I believe he was.
Let's be honest. You know, I can't see the Gallagher and Gilmore, to be honest.
Well, it will be what I reckon. It will be one. What it will be. I reckon it will either be Gallagher, Gilmour, or Brozier. Even though obviously Brozier's a striker, Gallagher, Gilmour's midfielders. I think we'll only get one low move from there. And the interesting thing is, a lot of people saying still would like a midfielder, centre midfielder. The thing is, obviously, Paqueta, he's very versatile in that he's left-footed, but he can play right wing, he can play as false nine, and he can play as a centre midfielder. But obviously, we want him as what's going on? The world's this is the end times. What's happening? But yeah, so he can play centre midfield, so he's versatile. But obviously, we want him as that number 10. If he's going to be playing number 10, then that leaves Fornals, who does play there for us. And I've been saying this: play Fornals next to Declan Rice, play Paqueta there at number 10, and play Fornals next to Rice. And that you've got someone who's very good on the ball, who's hard working, can do things both ends of the pitch. I think he can be sort of box to box type player. But we're not expecting him to have to, create as much in that role. He can progress the ball. We've got someone who can progress it more. I think that's the best option.
The thing is, what you got. If this guy comes through the door, it's an upgrade on Lanzini. Lanzini's the one that's fallen off a cliff a bit lately.
Yeah.
So that's the upgrade there. That's what you're looking at. Lanzini is meant to be a better number 10. So there's the upgrade there. I think with Fornals gets away with a hell of a lot because he works hard. He
Dan, don't, because I'm having trouble logging on here. It's not. My laptop won't log on.
You ain't got the auto rotate set up.
Hold on, mate. Hang on. Let me come out. I'm going to come back in because my laptop seems to have connected now. Hold on. Let me come out and come back in.
All right, mate. Classic Graham.
So Fornals gets away with a lot for me, a hell of a lot. But look, he does put in a good shift, and sometimes that does count. But
I just think that if we've got someone in that centre midfield position who's better at passing than Souček, and can better sort of with the ball than Souček, I think that could really help us in terms of quick progressions. Here we go. Second time running.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that lovely landscape.
Bloody thing.
Welcome, Graham. Good
Nearly
to see you, mate.
Window, mate. Nearly went out the window, that one.
We're just talking about the signing of Lucas Paqueta. Potentially, it's looking close. He ain't got the shirt. He ain't holding the shirt up, but medical's booked, apparently. How you feeling?
And he's frozen.
Oh my god, that was perfect. That is perfect. I thought he was lost for words for a second there. A lot of people talking about why Graham's dealing with his maybe he's going to throw his laptop out the window now. A lot of people talking about Lanzini and what this could mean for the future of Manuel Lanzini. There he's gone.
So I know,
all right, fair enough. Yeah, what this could mean for, it was a bit unsettling, wasn't it? What this could mean for the future of Manuel Lanzini, someone who predominantly that is his position, but he's going to be potentially behind Paqueta and behind Fornals there. He's also obviously can play in centre midfielder, and he has played there. And I think just for depth with all the cup games, I'd keep him as cover for those positions, so we can rotate a little bit more.
I'll be honest, mate. I've seen that Souček's come under a lot of stick lately. I don't get what the issue behind the scenes with Souček is. I don't know what's going on there, but we're not in a position to sell anybody. I think the two players that we could afford to let go we've let go, and that was Masuaku and Diop.
No. But that's what I mean. Unless we get good money for Lanzini, what's the point?
Yeah, and that's the problem that we've got. We can't now. We spent, I think if this one comes through the door, that's 200 million. 200 million is a lot of money for a club like ours. But let's not forget we haven't really spent money over the past couple of seasons. Net spend. We've made a lot of money. We've shrunk our wage bill quite a bit. So this has been coming for a while, this spend. It's a spend that's needed, and it's good to see that this money's being spent. And it puts a bit more pressure on Moyes, especially with the start of the season we've had. Because, sitting bottom, spending 200 million quid, it don't look pretty.
Moyes has been backed. We can't say he's not been backed. He's been. Yeah. We can't say he's not been beat. Yeah, he's been backed 100%. So he's got to deliver. He's absolutely got to deliver. And now potentially signing like a Brazilian international, as Mr. Driscoll says. He's Brazil's number 10. That's massive. That's huge. He's made over 30 caps for Brazil. I want to get some comments in on Paqueta, see what everyone else is thinking in the chat. See what people's thoughts are. But so Troj says we need squad spaces in case we get Broja on loan. It all depends on who else we bring in if we do move Lanzini on. Yeah,
but the problem is you bring in Broja, and Broja is a striker, right? You've then still got you've got 3 strikers if you can. Antonio as a striker. Yeah, which we have to because that's where he's played for the past 2 seasons. Right.
But does that free Antonio up to be the backup for Bowen then and put him back on the right wing if we do bring him?
This is it. That's the thing. I hate seeing Antonio out on the left. In the game, who was it? The weekend against Brighton. Moyes went to bring Ben Rama off, then changed his mind and took Fornals off, which was the right decision to take Fornals off. But then he brings on Samaka and keeps Antonio on to play wide left when you've got Cornet on the bench, who is a player that's going to get forward and try and swing the ball into the box, which suits Samaka more. That should have been a straight swap, Antonio for Samaka, and then putting Cornet in to play left midfield. This thing of keeping Antonio on the pitch, especially when he's not offering anything, I don't get. And he just needs. He asked for the competition. He's now got the competition. He needs to up his game. But like you said, with bringing in Broja, if we get Broja, that's 2 out-and-out strikers. Then you've got Bo and Antonio play right midfield. You've got Ben Rama, Fornals, Lanzini in a way who can play on the left. Then you have 2 people, if not 3 people, who can play the number 10 role. And then you're getting more and more options. What we don't want to do is sign players and then let Lanzini go out the door, let Souček go out the door. Because as much as Souček's not been great, let's be honest, he was their greatest goal threat against Nottingham Forest. He come closest to scoring again against Brighton. So he still has a role to play in the side. And if you're 1-0 down with 20 minutes to go, and you're pinning the side back and you're putting a lot of pressure on, and you're going to get some set pieces, Souček's an ideal player to bring on.
Absolutely. I think Antonio would be a great impact sub. I think he'll be I think that's where he'd be most effective for us. On Paqueta, Lee asked, why did none of the big 6 go for him, or top clubs in Spain and Italy? As far as I know, Arsenal were very, very heavily linked with Paqueta. I know Man City were linked with him as well. I think a lot of it come down to needs. Arsenal had Odegaard. They probably looked at it as in, like, do we spend 60 million on a position that we don't need as urgently as other positions? And that's what it comes down to, needs. You've got to look at other clubs. If one of these clubs had desperately needed a number 10, they probably would have gone for him. They probably would have signed him. It's one of those things. And I think it's the same thing. Like, look at Payet. None of these clubs went in for Payet. We went in for Payet. We was the only club, really. I think Everton were linked with him as well, but I think he chose us. But none of the top sides went in for him. He went and we went in for him, and he was fucking amazing. So I don't think we should always look at that as a barometer of quality.
No, and that's how you got to look at it, mate. You have got to look at it that sometimes these players do go under a radar. Other clubs look at them and like you said yourself, they sit there and think they may not be the right fit for them at the time, or they prioritise other positions that they need to strengthen.
Size budgets.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. As we said, we've not spent a lot over the past couple of seasons. We've recouped a lot of money. We've slashed our wage bill massively. So we're now in this position to strengthen the way we've strengthened. Whereas other clubs have got, we need to get XYZ player, but we've only got this budget. So what's the priority? And that's what you said. This is why these teams do it. Mate. I don't know if he said his Wi-Fi is playing up. His Wi-Fi is playing up. Just go this 4G. It still works.
Yeah, exactly. If he's got the data for it. Yeah, but that's it. Like I just don't. Yeah, take three. Take three.
This is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare.
Right.
What's going on, Gray? Talk to us. Come on.
I don't know. The Wi-Fi keeps dropping out of my laptop. It's working on my phone, but
right.
I can't change the camera. I can't change the camera.
What, the angle?
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you know your settings, mate? If you slide your settings down at the top, you've got a thing called auto rotate. If you touch that, it'll rotate you around.
Hang on.
Well, let's while Graham does that, there was a question coming. Do you think we are done after this window, after Paqueta? Apparently not. I think at minimum, there'll be a couple of loans coming at minimum, really strengthen the side and give us some depth. Clubs didn't go for him because no one wants to deal with Lyon. It's true. Lyon are quite a notoriously difficult club to deal with, as we've found in this, situation.
Is their chairman the Daniel Levy of France?
Yeah, probably.
No one wants to deal with him.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the arse. And, I'm glad that we just went, you know what, fuck it. We're just going to get this deal over the line no matter what. Is he? Oh, he's not frozen. He's sorting it out soon. Yeah, a few comments on Pint coming back. No, Pint, he's too old and fat now.
You've done it, Craig. You've done it. Go back. You've done it.
He had it.
It's frozen. It's frozen. What's going on here?
Don't worry, just that's it. Right, leave it like that. Leave your phone like that.
Leave it like that. Okay. No, but on my screen, it's frozen. I'm like sideways.
No,
it'll change in a minute. Is it going to change?
Yeah, there you go.
Right, don't touch anything. Don't touch it.
Still don't look right, Mark. Oh, there you go. That's it.
Graham,
what's a name?
Lucas Paqueta, give us your thoughts.
What's that?
Lucas Paqueta, give us your thoughts. What do you think? Potentially, it's looking like it's about to be done.
No, mate, I'm well chuffed, very chuffed. Is that what you want, mate? Please don't make me laugh.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm nursing a broken rib.
Yeah, Graham broke a rib, so don't try and make him laugh too much.
I broke a rib playing football Sunday in goal. So yeah, please, Matt. You normally make me laugh every week. It makes me laugh, but not tonight, please. I'm very chuffed, mate. Was it because I'd seen it confirmed on like Sky Sports and that, but I hadn't seen anything on any West Ham sites. It was confirmed.
Well, no, I was just reading that earlier. Fabrizio Romano had said that the final paperwork's been exchanged and they're sorting out arranging travel for him to do a medical over the weekend. So that's where we're at at the moment. So it's all looking good. It's all looking good at the moment.
I mean, I'm chuffed, but until there's a picture of him on the website doing that in a West Ham shirt, then
yeah. I want to hear how he says, "Come on, you irons." We got to hear that.
Come on, you irons. Yeah, like that. Come on, you irons.
Sadistic fan here, Black Country Hammers. Make him laugh. Go on, lads.
Black Country Hammers. Come on, man. Oh, don't.
Oh my god.
Evil, the lot of you.
Yeah, honestly. Come on, Wayers. That's the best one. Come on, Wayers. Who was that again? Was it I'm trying to think who that was who said the come on Wayers. That was a classic. But yeah, so like I said, like creativity, it's looking good. And you know what I saw yesterday, we'll touch on a V-Borg game, and it is V-Borg, but you know, it's away from home. A lot of complaints about the pitch. Just seeing like Skamaka, you know, linking up with Ben Rama and Cornet and stuff like that. I thought Skamaka looks absolutely quality. You know,
he's got to be due a start now, isn't he, in the Premier League, surely.
100%, mate. Surely. Look at that finish. I know people say it's feeble, but that finish, it don't matter who you're against. The quality, mate. To put that in from that angle like that.
When people go, oh, it's only so-and-so, I was like, you can only beat what's in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, we put in a... And to be fair, I thought the first leg, V-Borg I thought they were quite a tidy side.
Yeah, these could be banana skins, these games.
Yeah, you know, it could have easily, you know, I mean, well, we've seen it in the past with Astra Georgia twice, haven't we? So, you know, that's so. To be honest, I'd have been a bit more nervous if we'd have gone out there 2-1 instead of 3-1. I'd have been a little more nervous.
Even the even the commentator turned around and said, "This doesn't look like it's going to be another Astra Gugu moment."
Yeah, that's it. That's one thing you got to say about Moyes. We don't piss about with this. But yeah, I thought. Do you know what? Like I've been saying this. A lot of people have been like, Cornet's got to start over Ben Rama. He's not there yet. He's got to try and stay on side, and he's finishing. That Ben Rama put it on an absolute plate for him. How we missed that. It was nearly basically an open goal.
Yeah, as was said earlier, mate. I think he's still sitting there. You see him laughing to himself. He don't even know how he's missed it. It was probably harder to score.
I think he knew he was going to get it in the dressing room after, like, just get absolutely painted.
But I don't know whether you guys see it a lot, but Ben Rama seems to enjoy playing with Sameka and Cornet.
Yeah.
No, when you seeing them play, I know we can't read a lot into it. It was just a playoff game. It is European, a lesser European side. No disrespect to them, but they seemed on each other's wavelength. You know, and that could, for me, it bodes well going forward. You know, look, it's a complete different kettle of fish doing it in the Premier League. We saw that with Kahir on Sunday when he gave away the penalty. You know, he dives in when he doesn't need to dive in. You know, it's adjusting to the Premier League and in the pace of the game, the speed of the players, and you know, stuff like that. So we know these players coming from abroad need time to bed in. We get that, but you know, it's these games where they're playing with each other in against the lesser sides is confidence boosting for them, and it grows throughout the team. You know, and the players then understand. You're getting a more of understanding of how each player plays their game. You know, getting that, like when they do in training. You know, players link up in training. You get relationships forming training where players start to learn how. Oh, if I put the ball there, I know a player's going to be there. You know, and that's what I started to see yesterday with what we did with the gambling for the Sameka winning the flick on and Ben Rama going through and put it on.
Even the first leg. I mean, you saw Cornet put it on a plate for Sameka. I think if they can start developing that over the course of a season, that understanding, and he knows Cornet's going to put the ball in the right areas. Because all I've seen, from what I've seen with Skamaka, you know, 9 times out of 10, he's made the right runs into the right areas. It's just getting the ball in there every time.
That Ben Rama goal, you know, the distribution and delivery from Areola, the flick on, you know, the head on from Skamaka, then you had Cornet just flick it on for Ben Rama. That's, you know, stuff that you want to see. you know, when you do need to go a little bit more route one and you do want a quick goal, like how often do we seem to score goals like that quickly? You know, not just long, sluggish build up. The times where you are maybe going against those teams that are harder to break down, and I think that's what Paqueta as well will bring, as not just being when we want to play on the floor and pass it, but imagine if we do want to go direct and you have Scamacca knocking it down, Paqueta coming in, pressing, winning that ball and instantly making a decisive pass while Scamacca's movement, because that's what he does, Scamacca. He'll pass it and he'll move into the right area where you want him to receive it.
The thing is, Dan, we haven't had
potential.
The thing is, we've struggled when teams sit back against us. We haven't really got anyone that can sort of unpick the defence. You know, play that cute little ball around the corner, or you know, the slide rule pass between the back line. Now, hopefully, we've got that. You know,
yeah.
We do struggle when teams sit back. We do struggle.
It's what we were saying before with Antonio, where he's not naturally a striker. He doesn't make the moves that a striker makes. You see,
he normally goes out wide, doesn't he? Pushes wide.
Yeah, but you see with Scamacca, as Dan was alluding to, where you know he'll be deep, lay the ball off to someone. And his first instinct is then to go and get in the box. But it's not only to get in the box to get a goal scoring position. His goal, I think the first leg, it's that little movements that a striker makes in the box to put the centre half on edge. You know, it's them little like go to take the step that way and then drop back and then go forward again. The little things that unnerve a centre half that Antonio doesn't do as a striker. You know, it's that what we said before, the mentality of I'm a striker, I want to score goals. That's what a striker's instinct is. And Scamacca seems to have that instinct. He seems to be the player that gets himself in the positions for the balls to come to him. And he does them little movements where it puts this centre half off. And he seems a player that's intelligent enough as well that if there's an opportunity to get yourself one-on-one with a fullback in the air, he's going to do it. You know, a lot like Andy Carroll used to do. You know, Andy Carroll would try and isolate himself between the centre half and the fullback. So it was the centre half that the fullback that'd have to try and challenge him, and he knew he'd win the ball all day long in the air against him. You know, and that's what hopefully we're going to see from Scamacca, that type of movement and aerial presence.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said earlier, I just love the idea of bringing on Antonio late into the game against tired defenders where he can just bully him with his strength, you know, and his pace. His pace ain't what it was, but coming on late into the game where he knows, like, I haven't got to try and conserve and spread my energy out across the 90 minutes. I've got 20 minutes now where I can just go all out, run, you know, constantly putting pressure on the defense. I think that's where he could be really good for us. And Scamacca, he's what he can contribute. I think him starting and playing a full 90 with what he can contribute around the pitch and way he can link up with other players. I think he'll help, as we saw the other day, not just score goals himself, but help create chances, help create goals. But so Moyes, to me, I saw, and listen, Scamacca may not be there 100% of the full finished article yet, but he doesn't need to be. He's got to be ready. You know, you look at Nottingham Forest, right? They've signed, they're coming up to like their 20th signing. The amount of new players that they've brought in and have been starting in their team, they've got more points than us on the board. So this thing about, I know what you're saying earlier, Scott, as it's worked before, but it's not working now because we're not picking up points. Something's got to change. And these players who we can see a quality, you've got to throw them in. You've got to give them that game time because what we're doing is not working at the moment.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, mate, and I do. And I think the interview. Did you see the interview with Ben Johnson? Where he was saying,
I saw the clip,
other teams have sort of worked us out. You know, and you know, and Moyes has said himself that we're changing. We're trying to change. Change takes time. You know, and
the teams have worked out that our big outlet is Antonio, so they get 2 or 3 players around him, and that's our outlet gone. That's our outlet gone, and we haven't got the guile or the craft to play our way through teams. We struggle when teams sit back against us.
Yeah. But the thing for me is, look, Moyes will take some criticism because sometimes he doesn't gamble when he is like as Mickey just said, he's stubborn. A lot of time he is stubborn, and look, you've got to take some of the blame, but the players have to take some of the blame as well, because for me, them players ain't putting it in. They're not putting that shift in. Look, on another day, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, well, we still lost." Another day, we put 4 past Forest. It's one of them. Look, thing is, Brighton are one of them teams that have always had our number no matter what. We didn't help ourselves giving away the penalty. We look like we'll be getting back in the game and then concede the second. But players have got to look at themselves and think that I'm not doing enough. Whether you agree with the way the manager's setting the stall out or whatever, there's still no reason for you not to put 100% in. And some of them players for me don't look like they're putting that 100% in, and that's why you need players then of good quality to bring in and kick these players up the backside.
Well, the thing is, mate, you think we're basically playing with the squad that finished back end of last season poorly. We let's be honest, bar beating Norwich and Watford, we didn't have a great last 8 or 10 games, did we?
We've been awful. We've been awful. We put all our eggs in one basket to go for Europa League, and we stuffed ourselves a little bit in there with the way we defended, and it was one of them. It just we went all out for that, and it didn't work out, and it just sucked the life out of us.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, you just got to look at where a team and that form has carried over into this season. You have to start looking at dropping players to give them, like you said, it's got that kick up the arse, and to refresh the team, to give some of the other players someone different to play with and some different options who can offer us something else. And then maybe these players that are dropped will get a little bit more hunger back in that they had before when they've got something to prove. The Bowens and Antonios and the Součeks and players like that. So, I mean, I thought Souček was actually, and again, it's Viborg, we'll put that out there, but I thought Souček was much improved yesterday. I thought he had a good game. He got an assist. I thought he made a few things happen. He was better than what we've seen him lately. But I do think we need to have another option there, and that centre midfield, just someone who, like I said, can make the passes and progress the ball. But I think where he's had so much stick, I think it's important to point out where he's had a good game, and I thought yesterday was a good game for him.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I thought that was his best game he's had so far this season. And as I said, he's been one of the players who's come in for a lot of criticism, and he was our biggest goal threat against Nottingham Forest. And that's the thing. As I said, he has a role to play. The player that really shocks me that's getting criticism, and it just might be me because I used to be a right back, I don't get all this hate for Soufal. I think he's been one of our better defenders so far this season.
He's not up to. I don't think he's been up to his standards.
When he was put in at left back, I thought he did okay there.
I think it's probably that he hasn't been up to his usual standards, and I've said this before: is the geezer had to have a big surgery halfway through last season.
He was playing with injury. He carried on playing with injury.
Yeah, exactly.
So that tells you all you need to know about him.
Yeah, he's probably trying to get to that point where he's 100%. He has had a few poor games this season, but and I think we've got to a point now where we've got 2 quality right backs. Johnson, I thought, played very well yesterday. I do rate him. He's got areas for improvement for sure, but I think if we've got those 2 really, at their best, competing for that spot, I think we're good for right back. I think we've got a good setup there. It's now to see what Emerson could do on the left.
You've got Ashby as a backup as well, Dan.
Ashby, yeah. I like him as well.
Not being funny, if we compare the 2 Volberg games, right? That first one, we played Soufal left back, right, with Cornet as the left midfielder, left wing, or whatever way you want to look at it. They linked up better on that left-hand side than Cornet and Aaron Creswell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought Ashby looks very tidy.
Yeah, but that says a lot for me that a natural right footer playing left back linked up better with our left midfielder than our natural left back does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my opinion, and people may think I'm wrong,
but
but
Cresswell last season or two, he's on a little bit of a dip, and I don't know getting players.
Cresswell plays better as a centre half now than he does as a left back.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah, the thing is, teams have started targeting us down our left side now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Defensively, it's never been, the best part of his game, Creswell. He's always been good going forward, and we see even against Nottingham Forest, he was created the most chances against Forest. So he's been a little bit more of an attacking left back than defensive.
Well,
Emerson, we'll see. Go on, Gray.
No, I was going to say, if your defending's not great, if you're a defender, it's a bit of a.
This is what I was saying on I can't remember what show, whether it was this or another one. Like, fullbacks, even though the game has changed, you're still a defender.
Still need to
defend. Still listed as a defender. Yeah, you've got to have some aspect. Otherwise, you just because it takes a bit of that pressure off the centre backs. Having a left back who can defend well, and at least be on that front line type of thing.
The thing is, Richard B says it there. Cahir can fill in at right back if needed. We've also got Aguerd when he comes back. He can play left back if needed.
Wait, let's see. Someone corrects us on the pronunciation because Scott's 1-0 up on me at the moment. Scott says Cahir. I say Kura. Let us know who's right on that. I need to know because he said it twice.
Well, when we talk about him, Scott, we always say Cahir, don't we?
Yeah. I could be wrong.
All right.
Me and Scott wrong, or is Dan right? Can someone put us right on this?
Listen, Dan's just reading because I said I got Januzaj. I said Januzaj while Dan was still trying to pronounce it.
Scott actually got one right.
Yeah.
I got to see if Scott's 2-0. He's pronounced.
You're making me laugh, Dan. You're making me laugh.
Kara. He's pronounced Kara. I'll take that. I think I'll take that.
So me and Scott are wrong then. Me and Scott are wrong.
Yeah, where did you get Cahir from?
I don't know. Man, come on, mate.
Me and Scott, you talk
1-1.
Wait, look, David Moyes kept calling him Theo, didn't he? He was saying Thilo or something.
Yeah. He was like, I'm not even going to have a go at that one. You better learn it. You got to be able to pronounce your own bloody player's name right, Moisey. But I have to say, actually, a few people are talking about the reason why we're spending so much, and I have to say, congratulations to David Sullivan and his lovely fiance on their engagement. I tweeted out, I'm giving her full credit on getting Sullivan, to splash the cash. He's obviously a very happy man, 33 years younger than him. So listen, he's loving life at the moment, splashing cash on West Ham. Thank you to that woman. She's like that to Sullivan what Danny Dyer is to Bowen, I think. Give her a bit of credit. But congrats to them. But Kretinsky, there's been no report on like how much Kretinsky has invested and what's happening. It's been very quiet on the Kretinsky front, isn't it?
If memory serves, people will correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the when he come in, wasn't there rumours that Moyes had been offered 100 million war chest in January and then chose not to use it because the players that he wanted couldn't come, or so if you look at that side of it, they got the 100 million there, then the spend that was always going to come this summer. This you've got that 100 million that you'd already all set to outlay in January, plus what you were going to outlay this summer. So this could be why I said the divvying in January that we did may come to fruition now, and we may reap the benefits from it.
The only thing is, though, it all means nothing if we don't fucking win a trophy, because we was in for a trophy that year. So you just that's the thing. You spend 100 mil in January. and you get that trophy over the line. Maybe a few of the players end up like Felipe Anderson's in the long run, but short term, we got a fucking trophy and Champions League football.
Listen,
So
mate, at the end of the day,
that's why he's in the hot seat, mate, to make these decisions.
People will think that you're mad, but for 200 million, I'd take winning the Conference League or I'd take the FA Cup.
Yeah,
you know,
mate, trophy's a trophy.
Exactly,
trophy's a trophy.
You know,
yeah. Well, that's it. Like I said, I don't know that we would have won it, but we look. You think that we was in for the Europa League, and I think freshening up that squad and bringing some fresh legs and some players and strikers and that, I think would have gave us a much better chance of winning that Europa League. Again, it's all in the past now, but like I said, these are why Moyes is paid to make these tough decisions. So he's made that. He's trying to save it.
Yeah, these signings are signings that potentially are for the future as well.
Yeah,
you know,
but these signings to me have to be a success, and you can't guarantee every signing is going to be a success. However, a lot of them they have to make a big impact to where we can look. Because when you've got a manager that is so cautious over signings and does his due diligence stuff, which is good, and will say no to signings and try and find the right one. When we finally do it, those signings need to pull off because we had opportunities to make signings at a very pivotal stage. So that's why we need to start to see these signings succeed. Maybe not all of them, but listen, I want to see these signings do well because it's on his head now. He's been backed. We can't say anymore. Moyes has not been backed. They can't. He's Border backed him,
and that's it. That you know, it adds pressure to Moyes, and Moyes is going to be up for it. Moyes will want to prove things. You know, he's done it on a shoestring. He's now going to want to prove that he can do it when he's spending the money. You know, and look, if we don't have a successful season, if we don't, you know, get to another semi-final or you know, finish 7th or 6th, yeah, right, you're going to see the season as a failure. But you've still got to give Moyes time. You know what I mean? Look, if we're bottom at Christmas, my views will completely change. But he deserves. He's done a lot for the past 2 seasons, and he deserves a bit of slack.
Yeah, I think he's earned the. You know, all managers hit a slump at some point. Even the best managers, like, you know, the ones that are winning something every year, and every team will hit a slump at some point.
Yeah, I think to me, like, because I think
he's earned the time.
He's earned one disappointing season. I think as long you have to look at it in context, right? If we can look at the team and see the transition, see we're maybe progressing on the pitch in terms of the type of football we're trying to play, and then just see how we're losing games, how we're dropping points, but you know, ultimately, you can see like something's trying to happen, but we're losing games and we're not getting points, and we end up finishing mid-table, for example. I think Moyes, then you go and say, right, okay, you've had that season there. Now let's see if next season, if you can get us back up there. That's what you look at. If we're in relegation battles and stuff like that after being given 200 mil, you know, that's not good enough.
No, that's it. Look. You know, this is the thing, and I look at. There's a lot of comparisons with us and Everton when Moyes was in charge of Everton. You know, and look, he had a couple of not so dodgy seasons, but he did have a couple of great seasons with Everton. But overall, his time at Everton was pushing for that top half of the table, pushing for the top 6, trying to get in them European places. And, you know, that's what we want.
The thing is, they was always around 6th or 8th, weren't they?
Yeah.
They was always, you know, got into a cup final, got into an FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Got him in the Champions League.
He's got to win the big one now. That's what he's
well, that's the thing, and that's it. But as we let's look at, I'm not comparing us to the teams at all, but look at the start of last season. Who was bottom after 4 games last season?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, yeah.
They qualified for the Champions League. So look, I'm not saying we are Arsenal, and all that and
we're not saying we're going to qualify for the Champions League, but we could still finish 6th, 7th, getting the European spots.
Yeah, we want to be staying in Europe consistently, right? Whether that is conference or Europa League or whatever, as long as we're staying consistently. But to me, we got to try and win that conference this season.
100%. Look, I said this when Spurs were in it, right? I said it's a massive embarrassment for them if they don't win the competition. And
they didn't get out of the group stages.
Exactly. Now, not being funny.
But I don't think I think they saw it as a hindrance.
Yeah, but they need they need trophies. The club needs trophies. They're seeing it as a hindrance. But I've said this many times.
It was justified in the end because they qualified for Champions League.
Yeah, but
sorry, Arsenal got Europa, not Champions League. Sorry.
Yeah, they did get Europa. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. No, but you look at it. I see the conference. I would rather win that than the Carabao. Now, they wouldn't throw away the Carabao, would they? Carabao gets your conference. Conference gets your Europa League, and it's a European trophy. So for them to dismiss it,
I wouldn't dismiss the Carabao Cup at all.
No, but that's what I'm saying. For them to dismiss the Conference League as a hindrance is stupid. Yeah, exactly. For them to dismiss it as a hindrance is stupid because they ain't won a trophy in God knows how long, and they see themselves as one of the big six. The big six who've just won one League Cup in 30 years or whatever. And I'm not saying this is West Ham win everything all the time, but we don't call ourselves part of the big six, and we didn't try and join a Super League and all this shit. But for them to sit there and play their shit academy players in that, because let's be real, their academy's not as good as ours. I think we can rotate more than what they did. They didn't have the depth.
Not all their academy players are shit.
No, not all of it, but I'm saying in general, they're not known for their academy.
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying. But there's some. They've got some alright players in that Spurs academy. A friend of ours' brother plays for them, and he's not a bad player.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm talking about just the academy in general. They've got a good striker coming through there and everything. There's a couple of good players, but it's a shit academy in terms of just the output overall. And you can look at it in the under 23s. What I'm saying is they don't have. I just think the way that they just played those kids in that thing, is a bit of a piss take considering they don't win anything. But for us, I think that we have to try and win that this season.
Yeah,
we really do. And I think we can rotate, and we've seen that we can a bit more. I think we can go a little bit further with rotating a little bit more in that and maintain what we're doing in the league. You saw Roma winning it. It looked brilliant.
I mean, there's a few sort of fairly big teams in the conference. It's not. I mean, look at the final last year, Roma final. Yeah, Roma have been in European Cup final, won the European Cup. Teams with rich European history. So it's like Ken Hammer said. I wouldn't dismiss any trophy. We haven't won one since 1980. So why would you dismiss? Like even the Carabao Cup, you're going, I'd rather win it. I wouldn't dismiss the Carabao. If they replayed the Simon Cup,
me saying I'd rather win the conference. Me saying I'd rather win the conference isn't saying I'd fuck the Carabao. I'd love to win the Carabao.
I know what you're saying, but like there are. The thing is, it's like there's teams like the Man Cities, the Chelseas, who play youth players or reserve players in the Carabao Cup or the League Cup. But Man City won it 4 years in a row. Liverpool have won it however many times. Man U, and so it's still the same. It's still the usual suspects winning it. Yeah,
but that's why.
If we took it a little more seriously, that could be us winning it.
And this is the thing, right? Joe's took it seriously, and now he's won all European titles. The thing with Mourinho, right, is when Mourinho was at United, I think the first trophy they won was the League Cup, the Carabao Cup. Right?
When he was at Chelsea, it was the first trophy they won.
He understood in his psychology of of dealing with football and stuff like that. He understood how important it is to have a trophy. because you start the next season, and in that team photo is your trophy that you won, right? Mm-hmm. And it's important because at the end of the day, that's what you're remembered for. You're not remembered for finishing 4th in the league. You're not remembered for being beaten in a final. You're remembered for the trophies that you win. And at the end of the day, it's you winning trophies, you attract better players. And that's what it boils down to. Look, at the end of the day, like you said, Dan, Conference League gets you Europa. Carabao Cup gets you Europa. But
Carabao gets you conference. Carabao gets you conference.
Oh, did he get you conference? But
yeah,
the Conference League is a European trophy. No matter what way you look at it, whether you think it's a Mickey Mouse European trophy, it's still a European trophy. In 50 years' time, you've still won a European trophy. And that's how you got to look at it.
Yeah, we still look back on the Cup Winners' Cup with fond memories.
Mate, I just love the Cup Winners' Cup. You saw some of the teams that won the Cup Winners' Cup over the years.
Yeah. Looking at as we're talking about the conference, we should actually get onto the group that we've drawn actually. So the group West Ham are in. So it's West Ham, FCSB. Don't know what that stands for.
They're Romanian, aren't they?
Romanian. Oh, geez. Romanians. Bloody hell. Anderlecht, which is, a good team. I think that's where we got Chiarte from. Was it Chiarte we signed from Anderlecht? I think it might have been. And Silkeborg. Silkeborg, which I think are another...
Silkeborg.
A team close to Viborg, I think. Sort of situated near Viborg.
We stayed there the night before the game, apparently, the squad.
Right, so...
before the Viborg game.
Interesting group. I think the Anderlecht fixture could be a tasty fixture, for sure. Very interested to see that, and we'll see how we do in the other ones. But I want to see us top the group. Is it the same? Does it work the same? Cheers, Fort Murray, for the 50 Canadian dollars. I'm presuming, or is that Canvey Island dollars? I don't know. Love your channel, boys. All the best. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Very kind.
Thank you. What was I saying? Is it the same way? Does anyone know if it's the same way there? If you win the group, you miss a round?
I think it works out.
Because I imagine the Europa League third.
Yeah, and don't they play the ones that drop down from the Europa League?
Yeah.
Then I think it works out the same as Europa League.
You top the group you go through, you finish second, you play your drop out to the Europa League.
Yeah.
So look, Anderlecht are going to be no mugs. They've changed manager because that was where Vincent Kompany was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he's obviously changed manager. Cullen, we sold Cullen to them. And he's left them and now gone to Burnley as well. So, it's they're not going to be an easy side to beat. When you look at the teams that we played in Europa League in our group stage, and Leicester are better than them 3 teams that we played against there. So that's not going to be an easy game. That's going to be a tough fixture.
No, but we should have. I think we'll have the quality to win it. Like I said, I think it's huge if we can win that group. Missing just one, that's 2 legs. That's 2 games we miss out in Europe. That's huge.
Yeah,
that's absolutely huge. With all the games coming thick and fast, so we got to do what we won the Europa League group. I think we should do what we can to win this group for sure. Some exciting fixtures. Will it be interesting to see the travel possibilities? For the Romanian one's probably a bit going to be a bit tricky for fans to get to, but Anderlecht shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Can I just say something? Right, I do. Look, I know we have Spurs fans in our chat, and Spursy is one of the fans that's commented, right? But
he's called himself Spursy.
Yeah. Look, you couldn't beat teams that we had never heard of.
You couldn't even get out of the group in the conference, so I wouldn't get too leery.
You're using your COVID excuse to why you got knocked out. You got knocked out because, you didn't play very well against some weak opposition.
Weren't they third when they got knocked out? I know there was more fixtures to play, but at the time they were like third in the group
and all that. It's as I said, goes to show. Mention Spurs, it touches a nerve with them all the time, rent free.
Yeah,
all the time, rent free. Wait until that.
But I'll tell you what, though, Scott. I'll tell you what. They're not bothered. They're not bothered by us.
No,
they're not bothered by us.
Let's wait for the screenshots. I'll send you guys.
They're not bothered by us at all, but they come on our channel. They're not bothered by us at all, but they come on our channel.
Right, great. Calm down.
Will Don be allowed to go to Romania? It'll be allowed, but I wouldn't advise it. It probably won't be safe for him. I wouldn't advise him to go there. He is famous. FCSB is Steaua Bucharest. Okay, Bucharest. So there we go. Thanks for that.
No game is an easy game, and that proves that. You've seen teams come unstuck in these European competitions. So at the end of the day, we've got to, we've got to take every game seriously. We've got to take every game as if we're playing the likes of Man City.
The thing is, we've lost to Steaua Bucharest in Europe before, so can't take that one lightly.
And Anderlecht beat us in, was it 75?
76, Cup Winners' Cup final.
Yeah.
Steaua Bucharest beat us in 2006 in the sorry, not 2000, 90. Was it 99? UEFA Cup. So when we went through the Intertoto.
Yeah.
Steaua Bucharest beat us in the second round. So it won't be by any stretch of the imagination. Will it be easy?
Take it.
We need to treat every game as if we're playing. You've got to treat them like you're playing Barcelona, or you got to give these teams the respect they deserve. You can't just think, we'll roll up and
Before we get on to the Villa game, I just wanted to plug something. On Sunday, the 28th of August at 12 p.m, the Jake Morgan Memorial Match at East Thurrock Football Club, Rookery Hill in Corringham. That's S17 9LB for the address, but East Thurrock Football Club. There's going to be a memorial match, a charity football match. You can go down there and see with professional football player appearances confirmed. So especially for you lot, I know there's a lot of West Ham fans that live down that way, Corringham way. Good day out, get to see some ex-pro footballers, and it's all for a good cause. So that's the Jake Morgan Memorial Match, Sunday the 28th of August, 12 p.m, East Thurrock Football Club, Rookery Hill, Corringham. Tube Tech Sports versus Towner Vets. So, if you're about there, interested, do check that out. We'll probably be posting some more information about it on our social media.
Yeah.
Looking at, so before we end the show, we'll look at the Aston Villa game. It's silly to sort of say must-win game, but a very important needed win for both sides, West Ham and Villa. Both sides without a win. Their pressure's on Steven Gerrard, and we've got no points. So, mate, we ain't got a goal in the Premier League. Shit, that's a good point.
Got a goal.
It's a tough ground to go to, and they've got some quality players, but we just got to find a way to win. We've got to try and score some goals.
You know what, we've done well there the last few seasons, but where we're going there with 0 points, 0 goals.
Oh, sorry, they do have a win. Correct myself. Sorry, Gray. Before someone else does, they have got one win. Sorry, one win. So they're better than us in that respect. Sorry,
well, we're rock bottom, so everyone's better than us in that respect at the minute. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's I'll say we've done well there the last few years, but it's historically a ground we've not done too well at by the last few years. So it's going there as we are bottom of the league. It's going to be a tough old game for us.
Do you think a lot of these things, like the Brighton, we don't beat Brighton and we don't really win at this ground. Do you think a lot of it is sort of superstitious hoodoo, or there is something to it? Like for some reason, we'll change all the players will change, the managers will change, but whoever it is, we go there and we lose. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like when you go, like when we don't win at grounds for 30 odd years, or like at Liverpool, we didn't win there for sort of 50 odd years, wasn't it?
Do you think that's just coincidence?
It's not the same players that were playing there 50 years ago. It's, completely. So why couldn't we get over the line there?
I mean, it's just traditionally they've been better than us, like Liverpool have anyway. And a lot of the time, your home form is your bread and butter. So teams are generally stronger.
What I'm saying is the players won't have the weight of history on their shoulders like nowadays, will they? That shouldn't. What happened? Like saying, "Oh, we haven't won their 50." That shouldn't bother the players who weren't even born the last time you won at a ground or whatever. So why does it? Why does it keep happening?
Yeah. Look, you look at we've never ever done well realistically against Everton and Liverpool. You look at the stats, I'm sure they're probably one of the two of the sides that in history have beat us more than anybody else. As you said to me before, Gray, you look at United, before Fergie at United, we had a decent record against United. But it's just some teams, you just find teams that no matter what players you have, what manager you have, they're just your bogey side. It was Bolton used to be Arsenal's bogey side.
Yeah, but Stoke as well.
The idea of a bogey side, though, realistically, like we're all rational people, right? Saying about football, like that rational side goes out the window. And I was just thinking about it when I see a West Ham fan talk about Brighton being a bogey side. I say it's all bollocks, really. And there are footballing reasons to why we ain't beat them, and it hasn't been some unforeseen force. It just happens to be at that time. Like sometimes it's the matchups, isn't it? That the way that team maybe play football is a good counter to us, rock paper scissors type thing. I don't know. It's just
the only time with Brighton, I'm going to say that we really should have beat Brighton was when we drew 2-2 because Moyes changed the side. And that was it. But Richard Stevens says they're Arsenal. Arsenal beat us. We battered Arsenal 4 games on the spin. Still ended up on the losing side.
They're just jammy bastards.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Another super chat there, Matt Ryan. Cheers, mate. 179, play 46, 113, drawn 20, lost 13.
We should be giving you money. You're doing our job for us, Matt. Cheers, mate.
But you know what? I would never. That's even Stevens, but it never feels like that, does it?
You always look at that.
I sort of feel there's more pressure going into this game. I know it sounds a bit silly on Gerrard than there is on Moyes.
Oh yeah, Moyes can lose this, and it's not going to be Moyes out. But I think Gerrard, people start to really turn, and there's noises now already against Gerrard.
Yeah, and look, I'm not going to say no. I'll say my thoughts on Gerrard as a manager after we've played him. But it's
Dan, we might make the mistake you made, Dan, against Forest.
Yeah,
listen, you've got to put it out there, mate. Put yourself out there.
Look, it's not going to be an easy game. They've got some quality strikers. Ollie Watkins, good striker. Danny Ings. They've just signed another striker as well, haven't they? I think.
Who they signed?
Well, they're on the verge of signing another striker. One out of 2. And look, they've got something about them. But, we need to click. As someone, I can't remember who said it in the chat. Look, Villa have won 3 of 15. But we've won 2 of 12, is it?
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
We do. I think we do. I think recently, like up until the last couple of seasons, I think we've had a fair few draws against them, haven't we? If memory serves.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't know. I say it never feels like that. Like 3 and 15. It never. I don't know if it's just the pessimist in me. I don't know.
Look, we have to go there and put all of this. It's at this ground and we've lost this many games out of our mind, and just go out there and just play as good as we can play and do everything we can to get that win. And Moyes has to put the best team possible at, and he needs to decide what that team is, because it seems like he's not sure on what his best team is at the moment. And he's going to have to figure that out very quickly, because Miss Amoretz pointed out, do we think Emerson starts? I wouldn't expect Moyes to do it. It depends how he's doing in training, but I'd be pleasantly surprised if he did start.
I mean, he hasn't thrown any of the new signings in straight away yet, so I'll be very surprised if he does.
Yeah, I will be as well, because it's not like, as much as we criticise Creswell, we've still got a left-sided defender that Moyes puts a lot of faith in. You look at Cornet, you couldn't say Cornet weren't ready for the Premier League because he played for Bolton. I think he was Bolton's top goal scorer. Burnley, sorry, I got Bolton in the mind. He was Burnley's top goal scorer, I think. So he hasn't thrust him in straight into the side. But, it's just having these options. As we said earlier on, it's having the options. Do I think he should start? Yeah, but as Moyes brought him in to change the system, does Moyes want to see, as we were saying earlier on, are we going to look to play that 3 or 5 at the back? Is Emerson there to play as a left wing back? It's instead of an out and out left back. This is what we've got to work out. And does this player fit with the centre halves that we've got available? That's the other one you got to look at it.
I just think Moyes is going to have to get to that point where he just changes things up. He has to try something different, because to not just not get any points, but to not score goals, with some of the players that we have that are actually, when you look at them, even though from quality attacking players, Bowen, Fornals, Benrahma, Antonio, forget about form, just the quality of player we got. For us to not have any goals at all, he's got to try and look at switching things up and finding another way. And I think Scamacca has to start. He's raring to go. His confidence has got to be up there now with that performance. And I think it's time to put him up front and see how he links up. I think Benrahma still keeps his place on the left ahead of Cornet. I think, if anything, Moyes played Cornet on the right, didn't he? Ahead of Bowen. So if he is going to play, to me, he dislodges Bowen before he dislodges Benrahma.
I'll be honest, mate. I wouldn't mind seeing Benrahma play as a 10 and start with Cornet and Bowen either side.
Well, that's what I'd love to see. It don't seem like Moyes is willing to try Benrahma in the 10. I really want to see it. I think he could do really well and he can link up well. And then we've got, Benrahma, we saw it, that goal Benrahma scored, Scamacca, Cornet to Benrahma, goal. And I think that them three could play so well together.
That's it. And they seem to, it's what we're saying about wavelengths and relationships. They seem to have it a bit more. It's one of them cross hammers. We're not saying Benny before Bowen. We're saying Benny to play as the 10, Bowen on the right, Cornet on the left, Scamacca up top. But
let's have it right. Yeah, let's have it right, because I'm sorry, you can't get by on past successes and past, form. You have to be on form now, and that's what Cross Hammers is saying. Cross Hammers, Nick, is going on how good Bowen was last season. But if you're not doing it and if you're not up to scratch, and look, we know what a quality player Bowen is, and he's an important player, but no one's big enough to be Drone's too good to be dropped. And if you're not up to scratch, what I'm saying is on form. If someone has to be dislodged out of the team, if someone has to be dropped right now on form, and we want Cornet to start, Bowen is dropped before Benrahma now, because if we're dropping informed players, what message does that send?
But Bowen started last season slowly as well, and look at the season he had in the end. Yeah. So
and that's the thing.
We're only 3 games in, it's
I think the difference is Bowen's overall play, just on that, was still good. The energy he still showed. His finishing was the problem at the start of last season. Now his overall game is poor, and I'm not saying he's not going to come good. That's why sometimes you drop players. But like Bowen at that time, he wasn't solidified. His position wasn't there. He didn't have didn't build the reputation that he got by the end of the season. But if you drop a Bowen and then you start starting him in the cup games, and he starts to use that as a way to get back on form, and then he comes back in, you can't. I just think it sends a bad message to drop the players that are playing well, whose confidence is high. Drop them and keep the players in that aren't performing well. You keep the Antonios in, you keep the bloody Bowens in, you keep the Součeks in, who've all not been playing well, but because they've got good reputations, what they've done on seasons past, we just keep pursuing them. Yeah. No, you can't do that.
And Nick's put there, as we said earlier, Bowen in that, Benny in that 10.
Yeah,
I think with Scamacca, with Cornet, with Bowen, I think them four can link up really well.
Mm.
It's going to be interesting to see when Paqueta comes in, who is probably going to be that bona fide 10. Then you've got, Benrahma, Cornet, and Bowen, all competing for winger positions.
But this is the thing, though, there, Dan, is that you've got to look at what is your luxury. Yeah. You can't. We saw this when we had Anderson. When you're not performing, at the top level, you can't afford a luxury. Now, Benny's criticised for his work rate sometimes, that the fact that he gives the ball away, but at the moment he's sort of our luxury, and I think that's why he sort of gets found out a bit, because we're not playing particularly well. If you can't then afford, like I said, with this new guy coming in, if he works hard off the ball, but basically it's an upgrade. As we said, it's an upgrade on Lanzini. But if he works hard off the ball, but also has that killer pass, it's an upgrade on Fornals.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Like I said, I want to see Fornals in next to Rice. I want to see Fornals next to Rice.
I can see that working, because Fornals, look, as much as he really annoys me because he gets away with so much, I do like Fornals. And Fornals seems such a likable character. He seems such a good character to have in the dressing room. Yeah. And I can see him playing as that centre midfield role, as your box-to-box type player. Because he has got the work rate in him. He can put a tackle in. He don't hide. That's one thing with Fornals. I don't feel that he hides. I think he gets away with a lot, as I said, but I don't feel that he hides like some players have done in the past.
Yeah, it's a headache to have. But I think, when we had Anderson, to me, it was just a case of, our transfers seemed all over the place. Do you know what I mean? And our plan of what we were trying to do. And when it backfired, we were down in the dumps in relegation. And that's when you don't want a player like that. But we shouldn't be in a situation where we can't have these quality players on the ball, and we have to have fucking 11 workhorses that are all going to drop back and all going to defend. If we want to create and we want to play good football, you need them players that are good on the ball and can make things happen. Otherwise, we're Burnley, and no disrespect to Burnley, but we're trying to, play the West Ham way, that we've all loved. We've had the Brookings and Devonshires and players like that of past. We like players that get us off our seat and give us the entertainment factor. And I think we're getting, and Moyes, it seems that's what he wants as well. That with the players that he's signing, that's surely what he's trying to push us towards. And I think we're ready for it. And I just think that we've got to be brave enough to drop big players, when they need dropping.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But we, in the past, over the past couple of seasons, we've not been in that position to drop the bigger players, because we haven't had quality to come in and take their place. Now we've got that luxury where, like with Bowen, you're not performing at the top of your level. We know you can do better. You know you can do better. You're going to sit out the side this week, and this player is going to take your place. Then the emphasis is on Bowen to think, do you know what? I need to up my game. I need to raise my levels a bit more. When I get in that position, when I get in these positions, I've got to take my opportunities, and that's what we've lacked. That's what players have got far too comfortable, and there's certain players living off the hype of last season that, as we said, are not pulling their socks up this season. And we need them players to pull their socks up. We need them to pull their socks up against Villa if they start. We need them to pull their socks up in the next game afterwards, because it doesn't get any easier. We go from Villa to Spurs to, I think, is it Newcastle then Chelsea, or Chelsea then Newcastle?
I think Chelsea then Newcastle.
Yeah. So these games are not getting easier. And these players coming in add to that competition, and every player is then looking over his shoulder, because that player then knows my place is in jeopardy. I want my bonuses. I want my match-winning bonuses. I want my goal-scoring bonuses. I want my assist bonuses. I want my clean sheet bonuses. But you're not going to get them now, because there's another player who's going to nick that off you, who's going to take your place and get that.
Yeah. It's a must. It's an absolute must. Quick read out the super chat. Steve W.H. Bell, our good mate, who's here every week for about 49 super chat. Cheers, mate. Surely Moyes has to start Scamacca or Cornet. I think at the very least, I need to see one of those. Preferably, like if I had to pick one, I want to see Scamacca in that side on Sunday. It's time. I think Kerr was put in out of necessity, and we probably wouldn't have even seen any new signings in. But Scamacca, I think we have to see him in. We have to see him in. And if we see Antonio, look, we'll get behind him. I love the bloke, absolutely love him to death. But you just got to do what's best for the team. And I think what's best for the team is Scamacca up front for sure. So fingers crossed. But I think we personally, from what I've seen, I think we need to try and score first. And that is a weird thing that I've seen in this side. What I saw last season and the past two seasons on Moyes is this comeback ability that we've never known when we're beat. This season, and especially this is the thing, when you've gone 3 games in the league without a win, this is why it is crucial, because I think if we go a goal down, I think the heads will drop, the belief will start to go, and it will be very hard for us to get a point, let alone a draw. So we have to try and score first.
Winning and scoring breeds confidence.
Yeah. I think that's what Moyes was alluding to in his interview, where he said that losing Noble in the dressing room, it is a factor as well. And the thing is, that's an easy option. Bring Noble back into the dressing room. Ain't hard to do. Look, he ain't a player, but you can give him a role within the coaching side. Getting back in that dressing room. And that's the thing. We always said what Noble didn't, when Noble wasn't playing, he brought something in that dressing room. He had that togetherness with the players. And look, if you need that.
It's not only that, he taught the younger players good habits.
Yeah.
That he'd been taught, and he instilled that into the younger players.
So I'll tell you what, absolutely. Yeah, he'll be missed, and I think it's a big personality whose presence, is going to be sorely missed in that dressing room. But we've got to carry on, we've got to move forward, and we've got to find a way to keep going. And certain other players are going to have to step up and fill those shoes, and they're big shoes to fill at the club. But let's have a prediction then for all of us, and then we'll get some comments and questions before we head up. So I'm gonna say, I hate it. I hate doing this. I'm gonna say, let's just go standard 2-1 West Ham. Let's do it. 2-1 West Ham. We ain't scored a single goal all season in the league, but we're gonna get 2. We're gonna get 2. But Scamacca's gonna start, and that's gonna be he's gonna make the changes that are gonna allow us to score more goals, right? It's 2-1. 2-1. Scott, Graham? Sorry, Graham, yeah. Whoever's got the score in their head first.
I'm gonna go. I don't know why I just flashed into my head 3-1.
Oh, we ain't scored all season, but we're gonna score 3 on Sunday.
It just flashed into me head. We'll probably lose about 4-0 now, but never mind.
I'm going to go 2-2. I don't see us winning. I see us getting a point. I don't see us winning, so I'm going to go 2-2.
I mean, a point is better than nothing, and at least it stops the loss factor. But I don't like that, Scott. I don't like that at all, mate. We need the win, but you take the point. We'll get some comments. This is an interesting one. I thought GSB didn't spend any money. The issues the fans have had with Gold and Sullivan over the years hasn't just been down to money. It's how the club's run. as we've seen, we've spent money poorly season after season. Sullivan, has interfered with transfers way too often, and we've ended up with players that the managers don't fancy, don't fit in. It's about how the club's run. So the GSB out thing, it's not that we don't spend money. It's just the club hasn't been run properly, and Moyes, to his credit, seems to be trying to instill that change and to take more control. And Sullivan, to his credit, is allowing him and seems to be giving him the money and backing off. That's what it seems to be to me. He's tried to get involved at times, from what I've heard. And
I like Moyes. He's old-fashioned sort of manager. He's like, well, this is what I want. I'm doing it my way. He doesn't want any outside interference. He won't accept any outside interference.
I like this from our mate Dean there. Win and get Gerrard sacked. Revenge for the FA Cup final. Oh, come on. You've reminded me of that FA Cup final, Dean. It's made me want to win this even more. It's just made it that, seeing him looking all sad and everyone going, we want Gerrard out. We want Gerrard out. Sacked in the morning. Man, West Ham fans singing sacked in the morning to him. Please. You're right. We have to win. I used to like you, Scott. Yeah, Scott, you've let the side down. Graham Hawkes says we're missing Stuart Pearce. It's an interesting shout.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I mean, but I'm interested to see what Mark Warburton brings. It's a shrewd sign. We'll have to see.
Nick, from the understanding I've got, is Downs has been brought in not for this season, but for next season, as a replacement to a certain somebody. That's
That's the thing is, I mean, that's a big call to say that next season he's going to be ready to replace, a certain somebody. I heard Mark Warburton recommended him. It was a Mark Warburton recommendation. So look, we'll have to see, but there's been this excuse of he got injured and all of that stuff, but I want to start seeing him in the cups.
Moyes has turned around, as I said at the start. Then Moyes has said he's not ready, and he's admitted himself. He thought the level he was playing at Swansea, he was fine, and he's come in and realised, look, it's a step up, and he's going to take a little while to adapt. It's a big step. It's a big step. And the problem is his stats were really good. And for him to come in, he's got to earn his place. He's starting again from scratch.
So Gary Wellington, I had not heard this rumour. I heard Downs was going on loan to Palace. Is that true? I think that's just probably internet rumours. I haven't
heard that one. I haven't heard that.
No, because they were in for him originally, Palace. He was very close to signing for Palace, and then we came in at the last minute and snapped him up much to their chagrin.
He was going to Palace, and as soon as he heard West Ham were interested, because he's a West Ham fan, he said, I'm going West Ham.
Yeah, exactly.
With what I said about what I've heard, right, I'm not saying he's a replacement. He's going to be as good as the person he's replacing. What I'm saying is he's coming in. They're looking for him to be the player that they haven't then got to go and buy somebody else.
Yeah, but that's just silly. That's what I'm saying, Scott.
He's there for a season to learn to adapt, and come in to take holding midfield role.
We could say his name, like he's nowhere near ready to fill Rice's shoes.
But I'm not saying he's. What I'm saying is that he's.
No, but I'm saying what I'm saying, Scott, is if we have done that, and we just go, we're not going to sign a replacement because we're bringing him to do that. If he's not showing something this season that he can fill that role, then we can't just bank on. We'll sell Rice the next season. He can just go in. Yeah, he has to show it.
I'm not looking at it that we're going to sell Rice and then sign a player as good as Rice. What I'm saying is we're going to sell Rice and sign somebody who can play the holding midfield role.
But I'm just, if we get big, he's such a key part of the team. Look, you can't. He's a player that you can't just easily replace. There's not a lot of Declan Rices out there. You can go and sell him and get another one.
You're never going to replace him. Never ever going to replace him.
No, but we can find players of as close to his quality as possible. So invest in other key areas of the team, so that loss is not felt as much. It's not like you just sell Declan Rice. You've got to be smart with how you spend that money. Get a player, as close as to his quality as possible. And there'll be some players out there. You've got to scout around Europe that we can get that's good in that position, and then strengthen other areas. So you're spreading that out. They was just as naive if they just going down.
But it's not about that. It's about that you then get a partnership in the midfield that can replace. Look, you're not, unless you go and sign a ready-made defensive midfielder like Kante or someone like that, right, at the level that they're at, not in that year older, you're not going to replace Rice when he goes. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring players in that can, that we can, when he goes, we've got a holding midfielder. Once we lose him, and look, as much as it pains us out, we're going to eventually do that. The team changes again, and it's that transition.
Look, we've said, and obviously it's a subject that I said a few weeks ago on Friday Night Pint. We'll try not to talk about him leaving for this season.
That's why I didn't mention his name. That's why I wasn't saying it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, but I'll just quickly on this. I think that showing the ambition we've showed in this window will definitely be a positive for him. It's what we achieved this season. 10 million is a lot to spend on someone if he isn't a prospect, and a lot of people. I think it's too early to decide what Moyes thinks on Downs and where his place is. If he did pick up a knock, we have to look at that. But yeah, this Harry Page, I'll quickly win a trophy. Possibly, you can't say, can you? This is what I said. Let's not write him off yet. Skip behind the lad. He's one of our. Yeah, it's early doors. I think what fans are frustrated with is we wanted to start to see him in the cups a bit more.
Yeah, he was going to start. He was going to start, and he got injured. It can't be helped. Look, Aguerd. We all wanted to see Aguerd start the season. And that's the thing.
Whoa!
Oh, hang on.
There we go.
There we go.
We've got you.
I mean, the computer suddenly decided to connect.
Classic. So Elias, this is a good bit of good news. Astra Gugu just lost 10-0 today while playing in the 3rd division. That's good. But see, I'm bitter like that. I'm petty. I'll take pride. I'll take pleasure in that. But yeah,
right, going back on Downs, right? What are we saying? The kid's a good player. He's a signing for the future, and give the boy time to adjust. It's a big step up.
Yeah, it's too soon to write him off.
Yeah, I'm not writing him off. I'm not slagging the boy off.
I'm just saying some of the comments.
I spoke to a Swansea fan, and the Swansea fan was full of praise for the boy.
Yeah.
And, you look at some of the players that Vieira's brought in at Palace, and he was a player that Vieira wanted. So, Vieira's got
an eye for talent.
Players. Yeah.
He has.
So, give the boy a chance.
Graham's a legend. People are accusing Graham of watching porn. What's going on? But yeah, any other questions or comments that you want to get in about anything, whether it's signings? Like I said, we have apparently got some money to spend, more money to spend this season. Like I said, I do think there'll be some loans. Brozier, Gallagher, whoever it is. I think at this point now, we're just strengthening the team. I can't see us getting in any other marquee signings or anything like that.
No, I think if the one goes through the door, that's the marquee signing. And as I said, cut the loans, give a bit of quality, a bit more competition. I think that this could be a good season.
It's just we just got to get it started on Sunday, mate. We just got to get them points.
That's it.
Get a win, turn things around.
Dan, make sure you come and see us, mate, when you're over. I know you messaged me about coming over for the Wolves game, so make sure you come and find us after the game, mate.
Oh, look, you got your plug earlier, mate. You got your plug at the start of the show.
Nick,
He
I did
modelled it nicely.
I did a complete twirl, you know.
He did.
Gray, stop connecting.
Is that it?
What's he doing?
Crash that again. Bloody crash that again.
Someone asked this before. Just quickly, does this mean for the end for Lanzini? Not at the moment. I think we need the squad depth with all the competitions we'll be in, and he can play centre mid. Lanzini.
He's dropped off massively, though. He has dropped off.
Yeah.
From what we know he was.
Yeah, I started this earlier. Yeah, because I've not seen it yet. What? Kent,
£66. £66 for the 3, I think it is.
Is that the cheapest seat?
Yeah.
That's I saw Dom tweet out. So whatever Dom's seat is, £66, which I think he might be the same as me, band 3. He's either band 3 or 4, Dom. Let us know.
I'm band 5, so whatever.
Yeah, so yours should be cheaper than that, Gray.
Yeah. I'll have a look.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to tell us what's your band and what's the price that you was quoted, if you know. Like I said, so I mean that's
to be fair, Dan. As was 75 for the 3 games last year. So band 4 is 66.
Yeah. So ours
put band 4 66.
Yeah. Cheers, Gray. We just said that, mate. Ken, so band 4 66. Ken just said band 1 is 99. So as he's going to be in and around the same as last season, Dan, probably around 70 something. Which look,
yeah.
If you look at that band 4, 22 quid a game.
Yeah.
You know, 5 probably going to be around about the same, isn't it? Like a little bit less, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably be in the 50s or something. Yeah, maybe.
I said for band 1, £33 for a European game. You know, and you can sit there and say that we're paying 2 sides that no one's really heard of, but we are paying Anderlecht, who, you know, as I said,
don't Stab Bucharest won the European Cup in the 80s.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, they're not a side no one's ever heard of. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so you know, I think that pricing is quite fair.
But yeah, no, it is. I mean, yeah, it is. I don't. Yeah, I'll have to see. Well, I'm trying to save some money this season, so I don't know if I'll be outlaying the 70 odd quid. I'm trying to be as frugal as possible. So I have to see. Banned sites. So what's messing up Graham's connection? Graham, get off them bloody sites.
To be fair, though, look, I hope a lot of people buy the tickets for the cup games because, you know, from what Graham said to me the other night, there was a lot of people who wanted to sit down in our section, Dan.
Yeah, it's just
it's becoming meant to tell people to sit down, Dan.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I was you in our bit. Bloody what a treat. Yeah, you get European nights. You know what I mean? It's European nights. And you tell people to sit down. Oh, mate, what are we gonna do with that, honestly? Like, but yeah, I think because it's a qualifier, I think if there's no train strike, I think you'll see a lot of the regular fans go in there, and especially if they're offering packages like that. You know, I think you'll see a lot more regulars and things like that. The Anderlecht will probably be the most popular one. But yeah, so and look, it's one of those things, isn't it? Cost of living is going up, so people are gonna.
Is that true? 11 a.m. on Tuesday to book your seats.
I don't know.
When is
Well, the first group game's on the 8th, so yeah, that might well be.
I thought it was in November, wasn't it? Oh no, that's Carabao's in November. Starts
first group game's on the 8th of September. So I don't know if that's home or away though. That's the only thing. But yeah, so it starts within the next couple of weeks. So
We better tell Nicky now because you know what he's like. He always leaves it a bit late.
Well, yeah. I don't know. We got to be super secret, but he's probably is planning it. I can't reveal anything. I'm not being that guy who's going to be like.
Dan can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. I'm not going to be the one to drop myself in it and get the wrath. So just they'll probably happen. Probably happen. Graham, do you want to be the guy to put your foot in it?
No.
We'll make sure there's some pictures. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry. We get some pictures.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But yeah, like, look, what can we say? It's hopefully big signing wrapped up. We've got 5 more days left in the transfer window, which I think we'll get some loans in, and just get 3 points in on Sunday.
Couple of decent signings, be a nice birthday present for me next week.
Yeah, mate.
Yes. 21 years old, Graham.
In my head, yeah.
Uh-huh. You're only as old as you feel, Gray. You're only as old as you feel, and you're looking well, mate. You're looking well.
Well, Dan, I ain't 80, mate. Leave it.
I'm trying to.
As old as you feel. I say with this rib at the minute, I'm like, it hurts to breathe.
Do you know what, right, Dad? He's done so well in his weight loss. He's actually skinnier than me now, and he ain't been skinnier than me for a very long time.
Since the 90s.
Yeah, since the 90s. So that goes to show, right? He put this. He tried this on. The other.
Yes.
So I come back
up the airport
yesterday.
Yeah.
Graham,
I'll pitch up the airport.
Yeah, this was delivered thanks to Nick at Cross Dammers, West Ham Metalheads.
I've got one on the way.
Yeah, got one on the way, and so these come up quite small. So in a West Ham shirt, I'm between the large and an XL. This is a 2XL, and this swamped Graham. He's lost that.
Look like I was wearing a bin bag.
Yeah,
bloody hell.
So it goes to show that he's done some weight, the boy.
Yeah. Well done, Gray. Matt says you got to get a Haller mask for Nicky to wear. Yeah, or Haller or Victor Moses. Get him a Victor Moses fucking shirt or something.
No, Dan, we've all got to go wearing Haller and Victor Moses t-shirts.
Yes.
Mate,
that's it.
Matt's he's done me twice tonight, making me laugh.
Well, Pavarotti was only a 1XL. Bloody hell. That makes you feel good, Scott? You wear the same size as Pavarotti.
Stop it! Stop
it! Let's wrap it up there then before fucking Graham does himself some serious damage.
Stop it! Stop laughing!
Composure.
Back in the room.
Right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this edition of Friday Night Pint. It's been a good one. We've had a laugh, much to Graham's displeasure. We'll be back over the weekend. All the content in and around Aston Villa. We'll be doing a watch along for the Villa game. Come and join us live for that. We're going to have a lot of fun as usual. Jaso's more shots for signings. So he's going to be, really suffering. So come and see him suffer. And let's hope West Ham don't suffer. And any last words, Scott and Gray, before we sign off?
Everyone have a good bank holiday weekend. Let's hope West Ham make one decent one by getting
everyone who's going up to Villa. Safe journey up. Look after yourselves.
That's it. But yeah.
That's it. Thank you, everyone. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.